Jai Hind, welcome to class of Fundamentals of Electronics Engineering, BEC 201. We are taking Unit 5 today, where we'll talk about Communication Engineering. Let's go through the contents. We'll be covering Fundamentals of Communication Engineering, Basics of Signal Representation Analysis, Electromagnetic Spectrum, Elements of Communication System, Need of Modulation, typical apparatus and required applications of modulation. Then we'll talk about fundamentals of amplitude modulation, demodulation, introduction to data communication, the goals and application. These are the contents of Unit 5. Although in this present lecture, we'll talk about basic communication, right? So whenever we talk about communication engineering, it starts with the very basic electromagnetic spectrum, which is also called as EM spectrum. We all know that EM waves can be thought of as stream of particles, where each particle is moving with the speed of light. Now, EM waves are present everywhere, right? And we do communicate in specific portion of that EM spectrum, which are called as radio waves. So radio waves are important for understanding communication system. We need to know the frequency range, and we'll be working using those frequencies only. So radio waves are generated and propagated by radio transmitters. These waves are then received by radio receiver, which converts these into mechanical waves played through radios and other devices. Due to their wide range, they are primarily used in communication systems like broadcasting, communication satellites, computer networking system, radar, and other kinds of navigation. So they are important for communication. Now, if I see the electromagnetic spectrum, it stretches from radio waves to gamma waves, right? Radio waves with the wavelength in 10 to the power 3 meters extending to gamma rays, where the wavelength extends to 10 to the power minus 12. We can see it is in the direction of decreasing the wavelength, whereas frequency is vice versa of it. As we know, C equals to nu lambda. So, keeping the velocity of light constant, our frequency and wavelength are vice versa of each other, inverse proportion to each other, right? Now, when we talk of electromagnetic spectrum, it extends from extremely low frequency, as the ranges are explained here, to voice frequency that lies in 0.3 to 3 kilohertz. So that is the frequency of voice signal, right? Very low frequency extending from 3 to 30, low frequency 30 to 300 kilohertz, medium frequency 0.3 to 3 megahertz, then high frequency, very high, ultra high, super high, and all the applications are mentioned here. We can see here that most of the communication part is covered in the megahertz and gigahertz range, which is the communication which are mainly my radio waves. We can see it from here, right? Next, what is the purpose of communication? A communication system is used to transmit message intelligence of a source to user. Thus, communication may be defined as the process of establishing communication or link between 2 points, for which information can in between which information can be exchanged. Now, what are the equipments that we use in communication? All the electronic devices that we use in communication. And what is the system? The complete set of those equipments, along with the frequency that we use. In that complete setup, it is known as communication system. Now, if I have to classify communication, there are several bases of classification. I can classify this system on the basis of the type of equipment, that what kind of equipment we use for communication. If you're using an equipment which is capable of either transmitting or receiving, that kind of equipment is called as, that kind of system is called as simplex. When a system is capable of both transmitting and receiving, but one at a time. A duplex system is the one that is capable of transmitting and receiving both simultaneously, whereas a half duplex system is capable of transmitting and receiving, but it will perform one task at a time. right? So example for simplex communication is our facsimile machine. We can only take fax output, right? Or we can see the keyboard which is used to enter data, or the monitor which only displays the data. If I talk about half duplex, then our old walkie-talkie sets. Our walkie-talkie sets act as half duplex. Now, what is full duplex? A full duplex system is capable of transmitting and receiving both simultaneously. Example of that is our modern mobile phones or cell phones, right? So on the basis of equipment, these are the classification criteria. Now, if I want to classify my communication system on the basis of frequency, then I can classify it as baseband and passband. What is baseband? Communicating at low frequency, or communication without any kind of modulation. Then passband frequency, it is communication with high frequency or communication done after performing modulation. Right. So on the basis of frequency, if we classify, we have baseband communication or bandpass communication. Bandpass communication is also called as passband communication. Now, if I want to classify it on the basis of message frequency, type of message signal. On the basis of type of message signal, I can classify it as analog communication or digital communication depending on the type of message signal that we use for communication. In analog communication, we directly transmit analog signals, that is my sine waves or cos wave, which are usually function of time, right? In case of digital communication, we transmit digital data. We usually transmit them either in form of bits, ones and zeros. So these are some common classification for communication system. Now, what are the various elements of a communication system? As we know, communication means sending, receiving, and processing of the information. So this involves whole lot of procedure, right from generation of message to make it capable to be transmitted while they are propagated through either EM waves or through wired channel, and by the time they are received by the receiver, their reception to interpretation and passing it on to the desired recipient. So it involves this complete set of procedure. So some common examples of communication system includes your radio broadcasting, television broadcasting, radio telegraphy, mobile communication, computer communication. These are the kind of communication that we use in our daily lives, isn't it? So two or more people communicating with each other by using sound signal is also known as communication system. True. Now, to understand the communication, we have to study the basic block diagram of a communication system. So, what are the basic components of a communication system? A communication system consists of, first of all, when we want to exchange some information, there should be some source of information. That should be information source. Now, information source, right? So this is, if I'm talking about audio communication between two people, my mind generates the information, but that is propagated through my vocal cords through the audio signals, right? So here the message is audio signal, my information source is my brain, and the transducer, that could be whole complex process of complex things involved between my brain and my vocal cords, right? That would act as transducer. As we know, the transducer converts one form of energy into another, right? So information source generates information in the form of either audio, video, text, any kind of picture, these are the most common kind of messages generated, right? Now, we have a dedicated device which is called as input transducer that will convert this energy into such form so that the available channel can transmit it, right? So mostly in case of your mobile communication, computer communication, my signals has to be converted into electromagnetic waves, or they have to convert it into electrical signal. That conversion takes place with the help of input transducer, right? Now when it goes to transmitter simply does not just pass the message on. It checks for the characteristic of the input signal and matches it with the available channel, right? And when it finds that the available signal can propagate through available channel, then it does not have to do any necessary alterations. Whereas when we take example of modern communication, like in mobile phones, computers, we cannot directly transmit audio signal, right? There has to be frequency shifting. They have to be transmitted in the form of radio waves. So for such cases, modulation is required. So here are some terms which I'm mentioning, which are important to be mentioned whenever we are talking about block diagram. That is, a transmitter performs modulation, details of which we will study later on in this unit only. Apart from modulation, it performs multiplexing as well. Multiplexing is enabling the channel to accommodate more number of messages simultaneously. And your communication resource could be time, it could be frequency. So based on that, your transmitter performs the task of multiplexing as well. Next is channel. Now that depends at what kind of channel we use. The most common kind of classification is wired channel and wireless channel, right? So wired channel, how does wired channel works? Your wired channel, usually we can classify it like coaxial cable, copper cable, optical fibers. These are my wired channels. Channel I can classify wired and wireless. If I talk about wire, then coaxial cable, copper cable, optical fiber. And if I talk about wireless communication, then here comes the concept of frequency. Now it is further classified on the basis of frequencies, like whether we are communicating in kilohertz or megahertz. So if we are communicating in kilohertz along the curvature of Earth, where both the towers can see head of each other, which is called as line of sight communication, then that kind of waves are called as ground waves. Next is your sky waves. What are your sky waves? When we communicate in a megahertz frequency, like around approximately 30 megahertz, then your signals, they do propagate in space. It doesn't go to space. In the vicinity of Earth, there is ionosphere, troposphere, stratosphere, then ionosphere. Ionosphere consists of dense ions. So your waves get reflected from the ionosphere, and they can travel much longer distance as compared to ground waves. And if we talk about the space wave, for that we use satellite communication, where we communicate in gigahertz range. As your gigahertz frequencies, they cross the ionosphere, your ionosphere is not capable of transmitting the signal back to Earth. In that case, we need to put some mirror in the space. Those mirrors are your satellites, right? So when we classify wireless communication on the basis of frequency, we have ground wave, sky wave, and space wave, right? And when we talk about wired communication, we have copper cable, coaxial cable, and optical fibers, right? Now, here is a block which is connected to channel that shows noise. What does that mean? That means that noise is an integral part of communication, right? Noises, although not preferable. Noise is not at all appreciated, but we can't do anything about it. A good engineer will always study about noise and will design the system accordingly, right? So most of the noise gets added up while your wave is in the channel, be it the wired channel, be it the wireless, right? Now, my receiver receives the electrical signal which was transmitted by the transmitter. After reception, what happens? At reception, it will perform all the tasks in reverse manner of what happened at transmitter. That means it will perform the task of demodulation. Also, it will perform the task of demultiplexing. This is what the receiver will do, right? And after demodulation and demultiplexing, now we have converted our signal back to low frequency, like maybe the audio signal. Now it will go to the output transducer that will convert that electrical signal into voice again, audio, right? So here actual message, picture, words, whatever was transmitted, that will be processed, right? And it will go to the final destination. This is how the complete communication system works, right? All the things which I have explained in the block diagram is mentioned here. Information source. As you all know, the communication establishes the communication bridge between the sender, which is transmitter, and receiver. To establish this communication bridge between the sender and the receiver, first we need an information. This is the first and foremost thing or requirement. This information originates in the information source. The information generated by the source may be in the form of sound, picture, words. It could be anything, right? Input transducer, which converts one form of energy signal into another form. The transducer is present at the input side and output side of the communication system. The transducer that is present at the input side is called as input transducer, and likewise we need an output transducer at the reception side. The best example of an input transducer is the microphone, which is placed between. We all are aware of microphone. Whenever we attend Google meeting or anything through our computer or phone, it always asks to turn on the microphone. What is the role of a microphone? It will convert your audio signal into electrical signal. And what is the job of a speaker? As well, speaker will convert your electrical signal back to audio signal that we use at receiver. Transmitter is a device which converts the signal produced by the source into form which is suitable for transmission. Right? Transmitter uses a technique called modulation. This is important. Whenever we are talking about transmitter, we always have to mention about modulation. Right? Transmitters use a technique called modulation to convert the electrical signal into a form that is suitable for transmission over a given channel or medium. Modulation is the main function of the transmitter. We cannot describe about transmitter without mentioning modulation, which is important. Modulation increases the strength of a signal without changing the parameters of the original signal. Thus, the resulted signal overcomes the various effects which make it to become weak. True. Next is communication channel. The communication channel is the medium through which signal travels. Right? The communication channel is a wired or wireless medium. As discussed, I have discussed about wired channels. I've discussed about wireless channels and its classification. Right? Communication. This is how it is divided. Some examples of wired channel include coaxial cables, fiber optic cables, twisted pair, telephone lines. Wireless channel include air, water, and vacuum. Right? Although channel provides a way for communication, it has one drawback. The communication of channel reduces the signal strength, which is true. We can't do anything about it. There always occurs some attenuation. So you might have heard that we use repeaters on the way. So in the channel there we can use several repeaters. to enhance its strength. What is noise? Noise is if I want to define noise, it is an unwanted signal that enters the communication system. Noise signal degrades the transmitted signal. True. Receiver. It is a device that receives the signal from the channel and converts the signal, which is understandable by human. TV set is a good example of receiver, isn't it? In TV we can see, right? So it is a receiver. TV set receives the signal sent by the TV transmitting station and converts the signal into form which is easily understandable by humans who are watching TV. What is output transducer? It is present at the output side. Generally, it converts electrical signal into non-electrical. Non-electrical means sound, light, both sound and light. The best example of output transducer is loudspeaker, as I mentioned before, which is placed between the receiver section and the destination. It converts the electrical signals back to sound signals, which are easily understandable by the humans at the destination. Destination is the final stage in the communication system. Generally, humans at some place are considered as the destination. What are the various losses in communication? Attenuation, reduction in signal strength, distortion, change in the waveform, signal power reduction is attenuation, distortion, change in shape or waveform of the signal. Interference, it refers to addition of unwanted signals, addition of noise. Right? See, noise is mentioned here. Noise is random and unpredictable electrical signals from internal, external environment. That could be internal as well as external. About the baseband and passband communication, we already discussed. Right? So broadly, if I want to classify my communication system or modulation system, I can classify it as analog modulation and digital modulation. Analog modulation will cover the signal in continuous form. As I can represent a signal as y equals to a pure sinusoid. So, if I actually want to alter characteristics of a carrier wave, which is a high frequency wave that we use in modulation, then I have option to alter its amplitude or its angle. This complete thing involves the angle where my phase and frequency are defined here. So your analog communication can be classified as amplitude modulation, frequency modulation and phase modulation. And if I talk about digital modulation, then these are named as ASK, FSK and PSK, amplitude shift keying, frequency shift keying and phase shift keying. Here my message and my carrier wave, both are analog in nature. Here, as the name suggests, digital modulation, my message will be binary in nature, whereas my carrier wave will be a very high frequency radio wave. Right? Advantages of analog communication. Transmitter and receivers are very simple to design. They have low bandwidth requirement and frequency division multiplexing, which is not used so much these days. This can also be used while we use analog communication. Here are a few drawbacks like noise effects. Noise affects your analog communication much more than in the digital communication. Repeaters cannot be used between transmitter and receiver everywhere, right? Coding is not possible in case of analog communication. Most of the advanced coding techniques are feasible, practicable on your digital communication only. It is not suitable for the transmission of the secret information. Various applications of communication system could be radio broadcasting, TV broadcasting, telephones, and many others. That's it for today. These are the references we have used. Thank you.